I'm watching some guy in a vest, says press on it, which is fair. I always thought the press shouldn't be allowed in there if they wanted to see what was happening back home. They should have signed up themselves. And the idea that so many times the press, they're pointing out what we're doing over there. You don't want anybody at home seeing that. It worries them. All the while we're having a good time. And then you find out somebody was sad and they suffered and worried, and it's That being said, guy's out there with a press pass on his chest, and he's standing there with the Gaza Strip right behind him. You know, it's like there. He's on the Israeli side of the border. Remember what I heard yesterday, and I believe it, 147 square acres, 2.2 million people living in 147 square acres of land. That's smaller than the property, man. There's all kinds of shit going on around there. He's standing out in it and he's telling the stories, and he's showing rockets, and it made me think of the Patriot missiles. I swear, we went down to Riyadh from where we were up at Champion, Maine, which was originally called Camp All-American, but the Saudis didn't like the sound of that. We were the All-Americans, the airborne, you know, that's our fucking slogan type of thing. They didn't like that. Not one bit. They wouldn't even let us jump. The Saudis wouldn't let us jump to train while we were in Desert Shield getting ready to go into Desert Storm. They're like, no, no, no. Too much a show of force, power. I'm like, what do you have us here for? So this guy's out there with the rockets, red glare coming over him, and these Iron Dome missiles are shooting up. The hundreds of missiles coming from Hamas, you know. Realize it's terrible on both sides. And so they call them an Iron Dome missile, which shoots up. It's a rocket defense system, and like the Patriot. I remember being when we went down to Riyadh, because we were getting ready to start fucking bombing the shit out of them. The Navy was about to start bombing the shit out of Baghdad. They had us go down there as a militant force for like security in case there were riots and shit. So we were down there for about a month, and you'd see the Scud missiles. Remember, whatever Scud stands for, they're bad shot, just like the enemy was. They're bad shots. That's all. You can give them all the guns in the world, but you can only shoot one at a time, and if somebody's coming at you, going, ha! It kind of unnerves you, I suppose. So yeah, we got to watch the Patriots come up in the night. You'd see a missile. There's one. And they'd be coming at Riyadh, and the Patriot missile, we were just testing our new sword, Tsugiri. It's a Japanese way. You can kill somebody once guys coming out of the barber shop, and you can slice them right, boom, guts come out. That's a good sword, and it was legal. That's called cultural relativism. We have no right to say, which is counterintuitive to what we're doing right now. We have no right to say what somebody else is living through and the existence they're suffering or thriving upon. So this guy's out there talking, and there's shit hitting, and I guess we're sending them more stuff like Iron Dome missiles or something. And then without warning us, without him being warned, I'm sure. They split screen it, and they show this woman. She's inside like a dark room with the light coming in the window, and she's got her Kevlar helmet on and her vest, and it says press in case they order Chinese. They don't want the guy mistaking her for fucking Hamas or something. I don't know what the hell goes on. And it took me back to Johannesburg. Now I know you're thinking, you weren't fighting in Johannesburg. And I wasn't. But that's where I saw my first fireworks. Spent all my 4th of Julys in Johannesburg, Michigan, 10 miles east of Gaylord. My mom was the queen of Johannesburg when she was 16. I wonder what the judges made her do to get that. But, Johannesburg. My uncles still live out there in the woods. And I happened to be home at a time when there was some woman that went off her meds. I know you're going, what the fuck is going on? I'm getting to the point. Patience. Just patience. Sometimes the best stuff happens at the end. And then I go to sleep. So there was a woman at this time that I was home in Gaylord who'd evidently gone off her meds. And she took M32 East and fucking flying through into Johannesburg, which is a one blinking light town with a curve past the B supermarket convenience store, and it goes right and past the cemetery. There's just a blink. That's as big as this town is. That's where Joel Paul Hanna was there, and he killed a cop. Got chased all the way down to Georgia and was supposedly found in a barn where he attacked the police with a pitchfork and they shot him dead. I'm pretty sure they found the pitchfork first thing they saw and put it next to him. There, that's done. This woman went off her meds in her car, come blowing in, I don't know, 85 miles an hour probably, into that little town where it curves like that. The old Depot restaurant is sitting there. There's the old Depot. And she came and she plowed right into it. She killed children in there. She went blowing in through it. Old people. There were people eating breakfast, you know. The old Depot. Great breakfast. And so I was going to see my uncles anyway, and being that I was out in Johannesburg, I said, I'll go to Paul's Pub and get a beer. So I went to Paul's Pub, and I said, holy crap, the old Depot is right there. And it's got a hole in the side of it. And there are people dead. And inside the pub, while I was there, the reporters from the Traverse City or some kind of news around in the region were there, and they had their van and everything, and they were out there. They did their thing and their talk in front of the restaurant, and they did that, and I'm sitting there having my beer, and I'm watching them through the window. It's a day like today, pretty gray, dismal. Yeah. They come in, sit down, they get their meals, and they're sitting there and they're having a great old time. And I'm sitting there looking at them. I said, you fucking vultures. You're so good at it when they're looking at you. But there wasn't internet then, you know, smartphones, so nobody could get a picture of them fucking giggling and having a good time at the murder scene where some poor woman out of her mind lost her own life. But that's what I saw. just now, this Hamas, this Israel thing, this guy talking out in front in the fucking rubble, and you know what's bound to be just, you know, any goddamn construction worker, there's security, job security for you. There's going to be a lot of awful shit happen here, and he's taking it seriously. And they, unbeknownst to him, it seems, side split the camera, and there's this girl standing there in her Kevlar and her vest, and there's no audio, but I took pictures, and I saw it immediately, but I went back and took little pictures so I could look at it to be sure. And she's smiling in the one, and she's like, oh, I'll be over there, and the other, and then the other. She's just smiling for a headshot, trying to get the take. She's just seeming to really be a goddamn vulture. And I said, huh. That's why nobody trusts him anymore. You got one guy trying to do the thing right, and you got another one just faking it. I'm not even going to finish the statement. Goddamn vultures. Good luck, Frank. You give us the world. Oh, 30 seconds. You give us 30 minutes, and we'll give you the world.